Now we will talk about the next the topic, that is the employee branding. I have talked in this employee engagement how the work culture, work practices that motivates an employee. And people know, like for example, you talk to your friend, it is you want to work in the friend's organization, and what is the comment of the friend? If the friend says yes, it is a very good organization, you come and you join, then definitely in this case the employee branding is very strong. But if the friend says that is no, there is you please search for the another place, means that is an honest, it is not that the friend is jealous of you, that is a part from the reality. But if the reality is this, that is the feedback of your friend is that this is the place, there is no need of this type of these organization to join, it means I am also searching for the new organization. So, then that will be a bad employment conditions, and the people will not like to join. So, what happens actually? I will give another one example. Like in these molle ki dukaan, and that shop, colony shop, you will find it is the father was working. When father is getting retired or getting old means, then he asks the Sethji, that is my son, please keep him in my place. That is called the employee branding. So, employee branding is that where the people they recommend for their relatives, their friends, that please come and then work. How this employee branding is built by the different organizations, that we will see. So, in this presentation we will see the employee branding at the Deloitte, then these some HR levers are there which are motivating this employee branding. Now, this employee branding is basically a 3-step process is there. The first will be the brand insight. Nowadays it has become very important. Earlier for so many years it was the customer first, but nowadays it is the employees first. My employees are my assets, and therefore, in that case it is becoming a brand insight is there. And when the brand insight is there we will understand that is the how it works by the different parameters. Second one is the brand development, how to build the brand. That is very important is there, and here in the brand development we talk about the alignment and all these points that I will discuss later. And third will be the implementation, and implementation part is there, that is the recruitment guidelines and rollout, how the organizations are recruiting. So, basically if you want to create brand of your organization, you have to consider these 3 dimensions: brand insight, brand development and implementation. And these will outcome will be, what will be the outcome by this process? Employee vision, personality, key messages, strength and areas to improve by this exercise. Or in the case of the point number 2, brand development, it will be the employee value proposition and the brand book will be there. And in implementation it will be the communication strategy and communication tools, that will be becoming the mechanisms. So, first we will see the competitor analysis. If you are starting your organization in an industrial area, how will you decide the wages and salary? So, wages and salary will be decided on the basis of the local geographical basis in the region where you are doing the business. So, in the competitors analysis you have to also identify that is the strengths and weaknesses of the competitor. What is the USP of the competitor is there, and on basis of that understanding the competitor, you will come to know that is the what are the weaknesses of your competitor, and those weaknesses can I make the strength. If I want to dominate my competitor, I should know his weaknesses, and then I have to design the strategy for the development, strategies for the implementation, and as a result of which I will be able to create my brand. Otherwise, if there are the established brands are there and then you have to compete, that will be very strategic move. I would like to take the example of Nokia. Nokia was doing very well, but when their competitors, for example, the Samsung, Apple, when they have entered into the market, whether the Nokia was able to create its brand, then it was tough for the Nokia to keep its brand. So, for example, the Sony is another example, that the Sony is required to create a brand. And what is the brand? Brand is innovativeness, organization's innovativeness, and that organization is innovative, creative. That brand is motivating the talent or attracting the talent is there. So, employee branding will be requiring the USP, and nowadays the USP is the creativity and innovation. But if we find that is some leading organizations which were known for their, like the Sony is there, and then the Nokia was there, which were in the leading in their businesses, and ultimately we find that is the Nokia is nowhere. So, where is the failure? Failure is the understanding the competitors, doing the SWOT analysis for the competitors. If we are able to do that SWOT analysis, then we will be successful. Now, where do you want to keep your brand positioning? Now, brand positioning can be at the price, or at the product, or at the place, or the promotions, or packaging, right. So, where do you want? That is the, yes, it is a unique one. Simple example is like the packaging. If you are known for your packaging, your product is not as good, product is good, but not as good as your competitor, but still people are buying your product, because that becomes very attractive to give somebody, and as a result of which your packaging is becoming your USP. The way you present your organization, that uniqueness will attract the customers, and customers will be able to, here customer means employees, potential employees, and the potential employees will join you. So, it is important, that is the how to create that brand positioning is there. As far as talent management is concerned, in the talent management you have to be great place to work, freedom, flexibility, and there is no superior subordinate relationship. It is not boss and servant, it is not employer and employee, right. So, what is the relationship? Relationship is the partners, we are business partners, a wonderful concept. So, therefore, a concept of chairing this session to the round table. So, they making the chairman a special, and the sitting arrangement is such that is the, yes, there is a boss and rest are the servants. But in spite of that, when you are talking about the round table, and in the round table conference you find that is all are equal, all are partners, and therefore you are not making the power distance. Many organizations are known because they are having the power distance is 0. There is no power distance, and if there is no power distance, then in that case you will find that is the you are able to perform, all are equal, and you can contribute, you can design, and as a result of which you will find that is the brand positioning is done on the basis of that there is no power distance. A very simple example I would like to give, that is the compartments. Compartments are there, and there are the cabins are there, and then you will find that is the cabin of the boss. is very different as compared to rest of the employees. He is sitting into the air conditioning, he is having the big room, and the rest of the employees they are not having those facilities, those comforts, workplace comforts as compared to what the boss is having. And then you will find then there will be not be a good brand positioning as an employer. So, if you want to create that is a great place to work, then that brand positioning will be important. Understanding the vision for the business and employees, this is very, very important. Many times many stories we read, especially the social media. In the social media we read how the concern is there, and normally you will find they are, most of them are the western examples are there, but I would like to take the example of Dr. Kalam. Right. Working with Dr. Abdul Kalam is itself was a high job satisfaction and great honor. That is the I have worked with him. People are so emotionally connected, those who have worked with him, that is this is called, that is the concern for the humankind, and that humanity is it is a reflection. If you want to create a brand positioning, you have to concern with the humanity and the vision for the business. What is the vision for the business? What is the business vision? Vision is to not the ROI, not the profit, rather than serve to the society. When in a country, when business people will understand, a common businessman I am talking about, when he will understand that he is doing the business to serve this society, different segments of society. When I will start, nowadays in India also we find that is the startups are increasing, number of startups are increasing because of our Prime Minister is giving that type of the facilities, and government of India is giving that type of facilities, so that the young generation, I see many young generation people, those who are just passed out, and then they are starting the startups. And with those startups, I would also like to give here refer about the co-working space, like the 3-4 persons they are sitting in the one floor, and they are having the common furniture, common printer, common photocopies, and as a co-working space they are sharing the resources, they are sharing, and they are doing the business, and they are progressing, and they are creating the brand. Because these startups are working for the issues and problems of the society, on the directions of government of India, generating the employment for others, maybe at the small level, but the number is large, going to be the large, already the number has increased. In India, the young generations, they are starting the startups, so they are becoming the job providers. They are not becoming the job seekers. This type of the branding, right? And that is the positioning branding, that is the, yes, we create the entrepreneurs. The academic institutes, those his vision is we create the entrepreneurs, right? Wonderful. And therefore, and there is a list. It is not in the air, that is there is a list, and the list is very impressive, and investment is justified. So, therefore, in that case you will find that is the what is the vision. So, vision for the employer branding is to serve the society. Profit will automatically will come. Dear friends, when you serve the society, when you serve, your basic value system is to serve others. Nobody will remain the poor. Everybody will have the prosperity. Believe me, there will be so much well wishes, and you will be the wealthy of the best wishes of the people. And when you are such a wealthy person, then who can stop you to grow and from the prosperity? But that is not your objective, that is a byproduct. So, therefore, that is the vision of the business and employees. And what the vision of the employees? It is not like this that is doing the less job and getting the salary. It is the contributing more. I am giving you more than what you are paying me. It is not the concept इतने में इतना ही मिलता है. That is not the concept. Rather than इतने में बहुत ज़्यादा मिलता है. Customer is delighted and it is the employer is delighted the way you do. It is not to delight the employer, forget about that. It is a self satisfaction. My soul, my inner conscious, that tells me that is the you have to do much more than what you receive from your employer, dear friends. And this principle has been given by the G, the 20, 80 and 10. 20 are stars, 70 are mediocre, because the percentage will be also less of this type of division. But because the leaders are less and followers are more, that we know. And it is very much possible. That is very much possible if your talent acquisition process is strong. Your HR department is your backbone of your business, whether you yourself is handling the functions of HR department, whether in the, because in the small startup there will not be a separate manager, HR manager, the owner will be the HR manager. But when he understands the role of the finance, but does he also understand the role of HR? And if he understands the role of HR, he will be the best employer branding. Understanding based of the current employee experience and improvements. That is the consistency is there, consistency in connect with the employees, and also to understand that is who, what he is working, where if the employee is not working, it means that somewhere the recruitment process is faulty, no? If most of the employees are not working, some employees will definitely wash your eyes and they may enter into your organization. But if most of them are doing like this, it means that you are some kuch gapla hai. There is some problem, and to avoid that problem, it becomes very, very important. That is, you are going with the experiences with the employees. If employees are loyal, try to most of the employees are loyal, and they are coming on time and are working from home and delivering the task, and then you feel, oh, they are doing so much of work, excellent. So then you have to also find out why मेरे साथ ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है, मेरे को दुनिया में सब अच्छे लोग ही क्यों मिल रहे हैं. And I tell you, the answer will be because you are good. If you are good, you are honest, you are helping people, because the human beings are the social persons. So therefore they will be helping others. And that 10% is definitely will be always there, because if 10% will not be there, how will you recognize the 20%, right? So there is also necessity of 10%, those who will keep you practical. So therefore those employees experiences, but if experience is bad, कि हमारे यहाँ हर कोई क्यों छोड़ के जा रहा है, हम तो इतना हम सोच रहे हैं कि हर कोई छोड़ कर रहे हैं, इतना क्यों छोड़ के जा रहा है. Like many times you see that the mother is worried about the maid servant, जो भी आती है वो 2 महीने बाद छोड़ के चली जाती है, right? So otherwise nobody tells, father cannot dare to tell her that is what is wrong, but the children will tell that is no mother, you are very strict, you are deducting the money even if there is a genuine reason, or like this, that there can be so many suggestions by the children to the mother, and the mother if accepts rarely. If accepts, then definitely she will change her administration, and then she will find that is the maid servants are working since 10 years, 12 years, 15 years. So, therefore, that is also branding, where the maid servant has worked in which house, and then the people will say, okay, if you work there and you were acceptable there for such a long period of time, you are acceptable here also, come and work here also. So, your mother will allow her. And then the second point, right. I will come to this part, that is the employee vision, personality and key messages, right, and therefore, it depends on the vision, as I was mentioning what employee wants. So, employee wants, that is to give my best, whether I work for long time or not, I will give my best, that is the employee's vision. The personality of employees is the service, selfless service, that is a personality. Then the key messages are there, yeah, we are with you in crisis time. I remember in 2008, 2009 in the economic recession, many employees, they voluntarily said that we will take the 50% of the salary. Now the post COVID also we have to see, that is the how many employees they will say that is no, organization's survival is our prime motive, not the my survival only. So, we will share the bread and we will be surviving together. And then definitely the strengths and areas to improve upon. Second one is the brand development, alignment of the customer brand or the employer brand is there, consumer brand or employer brand is there. So, it becomes very important, that is that alignment with the consumer brand or the employer branding, that is to be done. So, that will be done, alignment will be done, right, on the basis of what the brand development is there. So, employee is aligned with the employer, overall brand development is there. Concept development is there, yes, like for example, nowadays in the COVID time you will find that is the there is like the Ayurveda. So, Ayurveda brand development, that is the yes, Ayurvedic things, they are becoming the good for the facing this problem. So, therefore, the concept development is there. Then the concept testing is there, of course, in the labs it has to be tested, and refinement and development is there, that is how you are refining and developing that particular brand development is there. So, actually in what area you want to develop your brand, right. So, you have to identify your customers, right, and then you will understand, for them you have to develop the concept, and the testing and refinement and development is there. So, what it will create? It will create the employee's value proposition, that is the yes, if this is the concept, for example, the most economic budgetary product, then that is a concept, or variety will be the concept. It is not the price, but it is a class, right, then there is a concept development is there, and then you see that how it is working. For example, ready-made breakfast. Now, the ready-made breakfast for those families where there is dual income, right, and then that will be acceptable. So, therefore, in that case that is a brand book will be there. So, in employer branding it will be work from home, flexible working hours, employee share on profit, we are partners. So, if this type of the vision is there, then definitely there will be the brand book. Here it is not I am doing the job, I am contributing to the nation, that type of the concepts will develop. So, it is very important, that is the what exactly you are looking for. If you are looking for a right brand, then definitely in that case you will be able to survive. Third part is, that is the implementation, recruitment guidelines and rollout for the recruitment advertising. This is very important is there. Recruitment guidelines are to be very clear, otherwise what will happen, that is those employees, those who are working together, there is no parity, and if there is no parity, there is a lot of difference. If lot of difference is there will not be any team building. So, to avoid this, it becomes very much important. You create, as soon as your organization born, immediately with the organization's birth, you have to take care, that is there are the guidelines for the recruitment. Design of the internal launch process, orientation programs, how you will do that, and where you will keep the employees, placement of the employees. Placement means where do you want to place the selected employees. Production of the comms materially internally and externally is there. So, therefore, it becomes very important that how do you communicate, production of communications and materials internally and externally. So, there in that case you will find that is you are able to do that. Now, I would like to take one example, that is the employee branding at Deloitte. Target audience research is there always. This is very good part, right. It is not because I am academician, so I will say that is you go for the always the research, but it is always should be the based on certain facts and figures. It should be based on certain analysis, and then it is up to your intelligence. That is how you are describing that research, right. So, therefore, target audience research is becoming very important. Second one is localization and customization, vocal for local nowadays. So, what our Prime Minister is saying, and then in that case it becomes very important, that is the localization and customization that we have to see. So, our dependency on the other nations, that will be less. Similarly, in case of the organizations, if we understand the internal customers, internal culture, organization within the organization, that is the employer branding basically. And then once you understand, and then you customize. Okay. So, simple example, that I am having the strata of the employees, those who 20% are more than 50 years of age. So, that type of the technological support I have to give them, that type of manpower support I have to give them. If my status says that is we are having the 45% the employees between the 25 to 35, then definitely I have to plan accordingly. And therefore, in that case localization and customization of the employees, that should be the priority. Employment brand measurement. Can we measure the employment branding? Yes, one research has been done under me for the employer branding, and that candidate is now the assistant professor in the IIT Tirupati, and then there he has talked about that is the employer branding measurement is done. The scale has been used and identified, that is how employer branding was done. Localized content management. And therefore, I always mention that is the at whatever the part of the globe you are, you have to be the part of that culture, and that is the localized content management is important. Web based screening is to be done on the basis of the web series. You have to whatever the you are having that content, right, of your organization, then that based screening is to be done. An online network for the interns, right, and therefore, because you are generating the new talent, you are getting work done from the new talent, young employees, and therefore potential employees. So, therefore, in that case those interns should be given a proper mentoring, and the employee referral program is there, which the Deloitte is using, that is the from where the reference is coming and what type of reference is there, and then understanding the candidate and then making him the perfect employee. Second example I would like to take about the SCL, employee first, as I was saying, that is the concept. Earlier concept was customer first, now it is the employee first. So, SCL is doing employees as partners and participants, as I mentioned that point also in this earlier session of employee engagement, that is the ownership, sharing of ownership. What is important? That is the organization should share that ownership with their employees, and if they are able to share this partnership, then definitely in that case they are becoming the co-owners. Co-owners means roles and responsibilities. It is not only the sharing of the profit, but it is also the sharing of the responsibilities. More personal responsibilities, as I was talking about this point, for the company's service offering and a voice with upper management. And there are no barriers. That is the making the feeling the oneself more responsible, that I am the person who is the more responsible, and then the voice with the upper management is there, communication with the upper management and telling them that what problems are there, what issues are there, what type of the context they have to improve upon, and then what organization should do. So, there is a clear cut communication, there is no barrier in communication. Employee development focus is there, because development is a continuous process, learning and development. Then HCL also support knowledge, recognition, empowerment and transformation is there. So, you will find that is this organization, when you are taking as a partners to your employees, then taking the ownership, employees are taking the ownership and responsibilities for the organization, then definitely they work very with the willingness, fully willingness, that is because they are empowered. They, yes, you can take the decision, and there will be the transformation of employees, right, from what? From employee to partners of employers. So, finally, I will talk certain some HR levers are there, and these HR levers are values and leadership, what type of the leadership organization is having to create those type of values. Individual and team competence is there, and as you develop that competency of the team, performance review is there, that is I have talked this in the case of the employees recognition, that is the how in engagement, how you are reviewing talent review and then giving the justification for that talent review is there. All these the HR processes that has to be integrated, as a result of which the organization, team and job design is given. So, what you are doing? You are giving the ownership, you are giving the concept of working together, you are giving the partnership. So, therefore, the team building and the job redesigning, here the job designing is mentioned in this model, and sometimes when you design a job you require, that is after feedback from the employees, no, the job is to be redesigned. So, redesigning the job is there, as a result of which what will happen, that is the core work processes, what they are supposed to do, that will be leading the organization, and these particular practices, some HR levers practices, that will motivate the employees to be the partner of the organization, or saying that my organization is the best organization. As a result, you will find the values and cultures are imbibed. I have talked about the culture embedness, and in the culture embedness, these are the dimensions, these are the factors that those are very important. When you are able to create these dimensions, you will be able to develop those values and organization culture. Once you create the values in an organization culture, believe me, the employees branding is becoming very strong, and the employees are becoming the citizen of the organization. So, this is all about the employee branding. Thank you.